Here we are at the beginning of March, and the housing and financial data in the news just keeps getting worse. Gas prices and mortgage rates are back on the rise. Half of Americans say they can't afford a $1,000 emergency. Credit card debt is at the highest in history at a whopping $930 billion. There are more corporate layoffs, and the housing affordability issue is still an issue, with this article explaining you need to earn a six-figure income to even begin to qualify for a home these days, as inventory, though, continues to grow. And as the Fed keeps raising interest rates, trying to rein in inflation. And the word from the equity markets are, we're heading for an economic hard landing with a recession expected. So what does all this mean for the real estate market, and especially the Florida real estate market? Are we heading for a crash, or at least substantial price decreases? Or maybe have we reached the bottom? Well, that's what we're discussing today, so don't go anywhere. Hi, my friends. If this is the first time you've been to my channel, my name is Lee Brickey. On this channel, we talk everything real estate in South Florida. So if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, buying investment real estate, or interested in living in Palm Beach County or the Treasure Coast, you're gonna wanna subscribe to this channel. And it's completely free, but it really helps me share the information with more people. So I really appreciate it. And for subscribing, here's a picture of Henry. Everywhere you watch these days, you're finding negative news on the housing market. But one of the places that keeps talking crash is on YouTube. Many of these real estate investors are putting out videos that we are heading for a real estate market crash in 2023. And most are making the case from historical data. And I would agree that looking at historical data is a very good gauge, because history tends to repeat itself. So studying the history of the markets can really help you make good investment decisions. But I would argue that in the real estate market, we have never seen a real estate market like this one we are in now. But before I explain why I believe this is a real estate market we have never seen before, let's look at some of the news that has been coming out recently. And then we will also look at all of the housing numbers from January from Port St. Lucie to Palm Beach County. And the reason that we're looking at January numbers, it takes almost a month for the new numbers to come out. But we're gonna get a good idea from the January numbers where we're heading. So starting out, Narada Real Estate Investments just released their predictions on the 2023 real estate market on February the 19th. And here they show that mortgage rates have increased by 80 basis points in just the past 2 weeks, from 5.99 to 6.8 on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And at the same time, housing inventory has increased by 78% in the past 12 months alone. But new listings have been decreasing for the past 32 consecutive weeks compared to the same time frame in 2022. So there have been double-digit decreases in new listings across the US due to sellers not putting their homes on the market. But even with inventory increasing some, Realtor.com's weekly report says asking prices are also increasing by 7.9% nationwide compared to a year ago, but still less than what we saw in 2022. And as said before, that's a good thing, but still up. So this article asks, why are home prices still rising as inventory grows? Well, we are seeing buyers still willing and able to purchase a home today at higher interest rates, but fewer sellers are listing their homes. So it's just a supply and demand problem, folks. And from boots on the ground, I will tell you that most of this inventory needs upgrading that we're seeing, and the homes we are seeing that are newer or upgraded, and especially if they have a pool in the yard, are selling within 30 days, if not sooner. So what are sellers doing if they don't list their home, but they are forced to sell or wanting to move? That's easy. Many are renting. With 85% of homeowners with mortgage rates under 3%, renting their home just makes more sense than selling it, because they can rent and put the profit of that rental towards the mortgage on a new home. So rent growth continues to slow, as we see in 2023, because more and more homeowners are becoming landlords. And we are also seeing this is happening with many of our clients that are moving from Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County up to Port St. Lucie because they're taking advantage of all this new construction and the incentives they are offering. Many are renting their homes instead of selling them, and if you're not confused enough by all this data and information, we're seeing that southern states have construction sales surging in January up 17%. And I can tell you from boots on the ground, this is because these builders are enticing buyers with these huge incentives that cover rate buy downs, closing costs, and discounts to the price of the property. So to get understanding of where we are from a year ago, let me show you some January housing data from Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast, and then I'm going to break down the reasons I think this is the housing market that we've never seen before in history. So starting out with Port St. Lucie, if you look at the median home price, it went up 22% to $384,532 year over year. Now, the median home price means that some homes sold for more and some homes sold for less. But as you can see, it also went up in Jensen Beach and Palm City. But if you look at West Port St. Lucie's numbers, which is tradition, it went up 36% year over year. And I can tell you it's because of all this new construction. But inventory only increased 7%. But in Palm Beach County, the median home price moved up 18% year over year, a little over $435,000. And inventory grew by 12.5%. So we're seeing prices not moving as fast in Palm Beach County, but they're still going up. And we're also seeing inventory growing a little bit more. But again, a lot of that inventory are for sales. So a lot of it needs upgrading, but if it's nice, it's moving. So as you can see, the real estate market in Florida is still moving up. And in this article from NAR that just came out says that January pending sales rose 8.1% month over month when rates dropped. So do you see the correlation with rates and sales? Now I'm going to go over this more in just a moment, so stay with me. But the question remains, where is the crash and when is it coming? Well, in my opinion, no crash is coming to Florida. And I know from comments that some of you have left, you think I'm wrong, but stay with me and let me break down why I believe this. So first, if you're looking at the real estate market today, you have to look at the equity markets and the job markets because the Fed is controlling the markets right now, the real estate and the equity markets. And in my opinion, the Fed has put the housing market in a real dilemma. By keeping rates low for so long, they have created a housing shortage as well as a housing affordability issue. And by raising rates, they have caused sellers to sit on their property, perpetuating the housing shortage and at the same time making it very difficult for new buyers to purchase because rates are so high. So something has to break in the state of Florida, but it's not looking like it's going to be prices. So where are we heading? And are we at the bottom? Well, as long as rates remain high, I believe inventory will continue to grow. But the question is, how long will mortgage rates remain high? Well, that's back to the equity markets. The consensus of Wall Street is we are heading for a recession and it's going to be a hard landing, warns Morgan Stanley. So if we go into a deep recession in 2023, historically mortgage rates will go down, which will make homes more affordable to purchase. And because we're not seeing a lot of inventory in the market and there's no rush to foreclosures, and I can prove that by the data from FHA mortgages, they just lowered the mortgage insurance because they have so much cash reserves. And that shows that high foreclosures are not expected because they haven't had a lot of foreclosures, so they have all of these cash reserves, so they're passing that on to the buyers doing FHA. And with homeowners sitting on so much equity, it would take home prices dropping 40% to get back to 2019 prices. And in some markets, we've only seen 10%, if that. So if a homeowner is going into foreclosure, they could sell their home before it foreclosed and for sure break even at the worst case scenario, and especially in Florida. And then you look at the job market of Florida. Florida has more jobs than New York for the first time in 40 years, according to the Bureau of Labor. And that's because of all the migration of these companies over the past 2 years moving into Florida. And then coupled with the growth of Florida, we're expecting another 300,000 people in 2023. So these people need housing, and there's not enough. Then you must ask yourself, where did all the buyers go that were out there in 2021 and 2022? The market was full of buyers before mortgage rates skyrocketed, and many of these first-time buyers are renting because they can rent for less than they can buy in many cases. My son is up in Orlando, and he's one of these people. But if mortgage rates go down as expected in fourth quarter, like experts believe, because of a recession, you can bet that you will see all of these buyers on the sidelines getting back into the market looking to buy homes. And I would say it would only take us getting into the 5% range for a 30-year mortgage for that to happen. So when you take all of this into consideration, what are the indicators of a market crash in the state of Florida? Give me your opinion and tell me what you think the indicators could be of a market crash if you believe there is one coming to Florida. Leave your comments in the comment section below. I really enjoy hearing from you, and I answer all of your comments. But do me a favor and don't tell me that the reason that the market's going to crash is because prices are too high, because all you have to do is look at markets like California or New York, where companies moved in and people moved in and prices just continued to go up. That's what happens when you see migrations into states. And another thing is, I hear all the time that this just isn't a sustainable growth of market, especially Port St. Lucie. But if people just keep moving there, it's sustainable. And if jobs keep coming to Florida, then you're going to see housing prices continue to go up because people are moving here and they need a place to live. And believe me, I'm dealing with the same issue with my kids, so I know it sucks for many people who have lived here in South Florida for years and are getting priced out of the market. And for those of you who are planning to move to Florida but are having a hard time finding a home that fits your budget, my heart goes out to you also. All I can say is that if you're looking to buy here in the state of Florida, right now is probably going to be one of the best times you can buy, and especially if you can purchase new construction. But on the resales, there's going to be the ability to negotiate credits so that you can buy down the rate and help you with your closing costs. But I can tell you that these incentives will not last forever that these builders are offering. So if you're looking to find a home anywhere in Palm Beach County or the Treasure Coast, don't forget that I am a full-time real estate agent, and we would love to help you navigate this crazy market and also find a home that fits your needs and your budget, no matter what that budget is. We will do our very, very best for you. So that's my information right there on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me, and we will get back with you and do our best for you in helping you find a home here in South Florida. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you found some value in this video. And if you like this video, do me a favor and like this video. I really appreciate it. And it lets me know that I'm creating the right kind of content. And you can watch the next video right there on the Mattamy homes and what it's doing in the Treasure Coast and how you can take advantage of all their incentives. Be kind to each other, and we'll see you in the next video.